Listen, okay, Tunic. It's like a frustrating masterpiece. That's the only way I'm going to describe it. Um, on some ways, it's amazing and is pulling stuff together that you could never even think of. And in other ways, it's like, and I think the initial first impression is like people see, oh, it's like Fox McCloud wearing a little Legend of Zelda suit. He's just like a Zelda clone. It's a trick. It's not really what that is. There's a lot of, and I don't want to get into too many spoilers because this is one of those like break the fourth wall kind of crazy damn games, but it's one of those things where the genres change and it's kind of a constantly, I don't know, fucking with you or whatever. But it starts off very, very Dark Soulsy, like more so than Zelda. Like you're walking around in a Zelda area, but you got stamina. The bosses are hard as shit, like ridiculously kind of maybe overtuned. I died more to these bosses than I died in my Elden Ring playthrough. In fact, I was hoping to have a I guess a palate cleanser from Elden Ring and Dark Souls type stuff when I played this, and actually I just stepped right into more Dark Souls. Rough, very rough, and I think for a lot of the players who are looking to try to play this is, their initial thing, they're going to be Zelda players and they're going to come through and it's just this brutal nightmare. It's like what this is. It's going to be off-putting, and I've seen that in the forums, is that people were complaining. There is, and I haven't personally tried it out, but I believe in the accessibility options. There's essentially a God mode that'll negate you through the Dark Souls type stuff, but it's like, okay, so you're just now on God. I just don't see a point in playing games in God mode. Me personally, that is an extreme turnoff. I'd rather face crunch against this thing, which is what I had to do. Some of these bosses, and there is not that many, honestly, but it was like a dozen attempts kind of things, or even plus, and which for me is pretty damn high because I'm actually pretty good at Dark Souls and Ninja Gaiden type stuff. Rough little bastard, but you're playing through, you're learning your Dark Souls. It's like, okay, that's how you want to do a game. We'll do it like that, and then it swerves on you again. And the only thing that I could think of is that it's a complete genre shift into this heavy puzzle-oriented stuff. And then people's like, oh, well, Zelda's about puzzles. No, not like this. And I cannot even really go into how intense these puzzles are, but they'll have you losing your freaking mind. The gameplay hitch, that the differentiating factor that really comes in is like when you start the game, you can't read the language, you have no idea what's going on, and you're just kind of going and finding these little instruction manuals and stuff, and you're looking at this stuff and it's done very, very well. This instruction manual, it kind of, you're unlocking features kind of sort of by reading the manual. That's the only way I can describe it. I don't want to go much further than that, but and the manual looks like literally like the Legend of Zelda, like old school color instruction book for Nintendo back in the days. And anybody who's ever seen those knows that those are fully colored. They're amazing to look at. And this game throws a homage out to that. But there's some shit behind it. There's some sneaky shit behind it. And I just can't go in. All I can say is this is a game that I would love to recommend universally to everybody, but I can't, because you need to be an intense puzzle solving badass, and on top of that you need to be like a pretty good at Dark Souls type games. And it's like, that's a very narrow set. It's like the core gamer set, but even to these days I don't know many friends personally. I think one person that I actually know that I could say, okay, go play this. It's one of those things that I'm kind of frustrated. Yeah, really frustrated, because I want people to play this. I want people to understand it. This game took me to the damn limits. My puzzle solving bullshit. It would make you feel like an idiot. I didn't look up anything, but toward the end, there was something that was so involved and convoluted, had so many steps that I had screwed some steps up. So I looked stuff up at the end, which gave me kind of a bittersweet moment, but if there's like 100 things you need to do and you mess up 2 out of the 100 and you don't know you don't know what it is, you could spend hours and hours and hours trying to figure out what the fuck the 2 things you screwed up on. You know what I'm saying? But I really can't even go much beyond that about what the hell this game is about, because fucks with you. That's the only way I can describe it. And so one of the big problems with this is that even though this came out on Game Pass, and that's where I recommend to play it, no one's talked about it at all because it came out like a month or two after Elden Ring. Elden Ring is kind of just got the whole zeitgeist of what video games are right now. So all the core gamers are playing that when they should try something like this. And so it's going to be skipped, which is unfortunate. It may be something that, 3 or 4 years down the line, people will start realizing, hey man, you heard about this little game about this fox fucking asshole who dies all the time? Yeah, you should play that. But so I'm giving this 2 paws up. That's an easy 2 paws up. Kitty and Brian were just enamored. Brian's like, I gotta figure out this damn puzzle. And so Brian and me, we had like, I don't know, you had the little tear off notebooks. I had like 20 of these little notebook sheets with like things on it that I needed to know. And I'm looking at all this shit, I'm putting stuff together. And it's one of those things where you're like going freaking insane when you're doing it. And Kitty was just immersed by this sort of like environment. This is nice, like nice little pleasant music, nice little pleasant graphics. And the brutal bullshit gameplay is like freaking murder the hell out of you. And so it's easy to throw my paws up and say, this is the masterpiece. I don't know who to recommend it. I don't recommend it. Go in knowing that what you're expecting ain't what's going to be there. That's the best way I can think it of. And try to go in there with no expectations. And then, although me just telling you this just gave you expectations. But I mean, it's impossible. But yeah. It's one of those things that I definitely loved playing through it. I don't know if I would play it. Well, what the fuck am I talking about? If there was a Tunic 2, I would definitely play this shit. But I guess that's my best way to recommend it. Go through open mind and just see if you can figure this shit out. Because don't look up nothing. Don't look up anything. Just go out there and do it. That's the only really way to play this. And so, hell, don't play it. Or do. I don't know. I want Tunic too. Let's fucking go, man.